Well, hello everybody and welcome to another edition of As the Crow Flies Hiking. It was a lot of fun when Jay Ben Hikes and I did the folklore legend of Coosa and Princess Talladega. And a lot of people asked me to do some more stories. I was thinking as I was hiking today, we're out in the Talladega National Forest, and I was thinking of a story that I've heard about, a ghost story. So we're down in this valley and there's a creek behind us, and it made me think about, as the water was flowing, a story that I knew as a kid. It's called Crybaby Bridge. Now I'm sure that in every part of the country there's some sort of bridge that has some sort of haunted portion, story, legend, folklore about it. And that's very true for where I grew up in Northwest Alabama. There is a place called Crybaby Bridge. A lot of people that would be in high school would always go out to Crybaby Bridge because of what had happened in this story. I was told, and the folklore, the legend is, that years ago, back in the 1960s, a car was traveling over this bridge. Now when you look at this bridge, it looks like one of those old covered bridges, but the cover's gone. It just has the trellises across the bridge. The story goes that a family was traveling down this old dusty dirt road, and as they crossed the bridge, their car stalled in the middle of the bridge. The father got out to see if he could fix what was the problem, but come to find out the engine was stalled and they couldn't get it off the bridge. So they sat on the bridge. Now there was a little baby in the back seat, and this was before baby seats, and the baby was just sitting in the back seat, and the mother was in the back seat with the child, and the father was driving. And so there they sat on this bridge, and this bridge is over this really long, deep creek up in Franklin County. The father was trying to work on the car. He couldn't get anything done. It got twilight, and it is a one-lane bridge. And then, out of nowhere, another car appeared around the bend and coming across the bridge. It was some kids out having fun, and they were going way too fast around that curve. And I guess you can tell what happened. The car slammed into the back of the family's car with the baby inside, the dad outside the car, and the mother inside the car. The car was pushed up against the bridge and then fell over to the right side of the bridge into the deepest part of the creek. The father was in terror as he watched his wife and child go off the bridge and down into the creek, and the car slowly submerged under the water. Then the father tried to dive into the car and tried to get his child and wife out of the car, but he was too late. The creek was way too deep. They say that nobody can find the bottom of that creek right underneath where the bridge is, and the car just kept sinking. The father tried to hold his breath, but he couldn't reach down, and he kept going and going till he was almost out of breath, and he came back up. He tried several times to go down into the water and get to the car, but the car was out of sight. It was dark. The lights just dimly went down into the deepest parts of the creek and then finally faded out. The father was, of course, devastated, and he lost his child and wife in that accident. But to this day, I'm told, in fact, in my high school years, I traveled to that bridge, which is still there, and drove across the creek. The legend is that if you stop your car in exactly the place where the family's car was parked, and you roll down your windows, turn off your radio, and turn off the car, you can still hear the baby crying off into the creek below. You can hear the wails of the mother as she cries for her child, and you can hear the screams of the father. So that is the ghost story of Crybaby Bridge, somewhere close to where we are now in Alabama. Anyway, thank you guys for watching another episode of As the Crow Flies Hiking. That's a little ghost story, folklore, legend. Probably not true, but I can say this. that in 1987, I traveled across the bridge. I stopped with a group of people, rolled down the windows, turned the car off, and I think I heard the faint sounds of cries on Crybaby Bridge. At least I thought I did. Appreciate you guys watching As the Crow Flies Hiking. I'll see you next time.